gangster? Yes, they did. Hello everyone. Welcome to another stream. Hope everyone's doing okay. Hopefully the music's coming through okay. Hopefully I'm coming through okay. Hello Big Shark. Hello Hot Creamy Fart. Hello Zohar. Hi Rob Rice. Welcome guys. Let's do some painting. I'm going to be continuing on with this frame that I'm working on right now. Hello Skinny Devil Lord. Which is like maybe 1 or 2 frames from being finished, and then I'll move on to something completely different. But more of the same. Because it'll be from the same shot, from the same scene. Okay, that's good. Right, let's go layer. Make a new layer. Hope everyone's doing okay. Calypso versus Bladekin. Yes. See if I can open up what I've done so far of this frame. No, you know what? I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it as teased as it is. Let's go up and get the colours. Now for some reason I'm finding there's a glitch with Photoshop. So if I've got the drop tool here. Can you guys see this? Okay, you can barely see it, but like right by my head, just there, it says current layer, and that means I'm going to be dripping the color from the current layer that's selected over here. But usually I have it on all layers, so I can just drip it like wherever the color is on screen, right? But let's say I'm on the second layer and I want to drip from the Megalosaurus colors, and I just drip. So I've got the color of the skin. If I just get this, I've been finding that if I draw, can you guys see this? Look, it's a slightly different color. Like it's almost like it's not as sort of blue as this. And the only way I can get rid of this glitch I've found is if I change the settings to the drop tool and change it to current layer and have to switch back to the actual layer that I'm taking it from. Then go back to the layer that I want to draw on, and then I can draw, look, and it's the right color. I have no idea why this glitch is happening, but it just started happening this week, and it's like the most annoying little glitch. I don't even know if it's a glitch. I think it might have, like, maybe I've selected something or pushed a button that changed it. Maybe my daughter slammed on the keys and like changed something, but I have no idea. So there's a little bit of backwards and forwards going up and down the layers. Scooby Schnack. Hey Jack, have you been working on any Jurassic Park canon lately? Not very recently, no. There's always work on Jurassic canon though, because you think of things that like people might not have thought of, and you question it, and so there's been work on it in terms of within the fandom. This week's been pretty exciting because they've been starting to tease Camp Cretaceous, haven't they? Season 4. Exciting for all the Jurassic fans. Oh, there's a new cartoon coming. Ooh. Wait, what is that like? Oh, I see. Okay, so that should go up like this. Yeah, that's good. Big Shug says there's also a new island coming. So speculation time, okay? My initial thoughts on that teaser were, I thought, and I still believe this to a certain degree, that it's a double bluff. That, like, not a double bluff, like it's a, like smoke and mirrors. They're saying a new island awaits, and they're showing this, like, creepy island. You're like, oh, that's where they're going to go. And then the image glitches and shows this, like, desert. And I have a sneaking suspicion that the show is going to go, like, one of two ways. It's going to be, and bear in mind, right, I know certain things, what certain things are going to happen or what's going to appear in season 4 of Camp Cretaceous, because I've been told behind the scenes by Colin. However, he didn't tell me locations for these things, so they could happen anywhere, really. But so, like, when I speculate this, it's not coming from any place of, like, actually knowing, like, where the characters are or all the details. I only know, like, certain things. But anyway, so I'm free to speculate how, like the rest of you. So here's my speculation, okay? It's going to go one of two ways. Either the kids are going to end up on an island and then instantly get, like, taken somewhere completely remote, like on the mainland somewhere. Or the kids are on their boat and they wake up and they're on this new island and they think it's a new island for a long time, but then it later turns out that they are within some sort of biodome. Like maybe they were, like, they passed out or something happened where, like, let's say, for example, okay, there is another Scorpius Rex on the boat, right? It poison darts everyone. Like, it gets out and they're like, oh my god, and there's things going on, and it stabs those little barbs into everyone on the boat, and they all get sick like Sammy and they pass out. Then you have, like, this sort of blurry imagery of like what's going on, and then they all wake up in, like, hospital beds, and you think, oh my god, they've been rescued, and they're at some facility on what appears to be sauna, and they think they're on sauna too, and they're with these people who are, like, studying the Scorpius, and they wanted to take them to their medical facility and then question these kids. And it could be bias in Manticore. I would probably assume Manticore. And then the kids, you know, make their escape, and then they suddenly realize that, like, there's, like, a limit to the island where there's, like, screens playing back the forest, and you realize that they're in this kind of biodome that's not actually a real island, but it's on the mainland in, like, Chile or somewhere like that. That's my prediction. I could be completely wrong. It sounds too good of an idea to be in Camp Cretaceous, but yeah, that's my deep fan dive into, like, what was presented in that teaser. Skinny Devil Lord says, I'm just wondering if the parents finally realised that their kids are missing for some months. Yeah, exactly. Hello, Mikey. Yeah, where are the bloody parents? Right, that's good. Let's get this. I don't know why I'm drawing, like, so far over that way. So in other news, me and my wife have been making our way through more horror films over this Halloween. So to go through the list of what we've watched so far, we've watched, started with Spielberg. I think I mentioned this on one of the other streams, but it's been updated. So we started with Spielberg's War of the Worlds. Then we watched Us, the Jordan Peele movie. And then we watched Spielberg's War of the Worlds, then we watched Poltergeist from 1982, the original. Then we watched Us. And then we watched It Chapter 1. And then we watched, I believe we watched Secret Window, the Johnny Depp movie. Directed by David Coep, I'll have you know. And then we watched It Chapter 2. And then we watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Then we watched Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Then we watched Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And then we watched Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. And then last night, was it last night? Or it might have been the night before. We watched Nightmare on Elm Street 4. And that film is so shit. So bad. And then we're going to watch Nightmare on Elm Street 5 in the near future. And then 6, which I remember being the worst one. And then 7, we'll get onto that. But we're making our way through all of the Nightmare on Elm Streets. And then I've bought John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness, because I've never seen it. And I've also bought In the Mouth of Madness by John Carpenter, which, again, I've never seen. Which I've heard is really good. We'll be making our way through that. We've got like so many movies to watch, and the one we've got planned for Halloween night, we've got like this big Halloween film gathering with some friends coming over. I feel like the big film we're going to watch that night is Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton movie, because that's a really good film. Jason Kruger says, if you thought 4 was bad, 5 is turds. Well, I've watched them all before because I've got the DVD set. I just remember 1, 3 and 7 being the best. 1 being probably the best one they've made. In terms of like how it makes you feel. It's like, yeah, that film hit all the marks correctly. I remember 7 being a lot of fun because of the like premise of being in the real world. But 3 being the one that I had like a lot of fun with. And 3 holds up, you know, watching it the other night. But I remember 4 and 5 being not good, but like not as bad as I remembered it. Oh my god. No, not as bad as like it was. I remembered it being better than that. But there was like, me and my wife, we just had a laugh with it. We were like laughing our heads off at parts of it. The acting was so bad. And like the logic of Freddy just makes no sense. Anyway, cheers tonight, guys. I'm just gonna make sure you guys are here. Cheers tonight. We are drinking gin and tonic, and we've got 2. So when I finish this one, I've got that one on the go. What are you guys saying? What did I think of the new It movie? Asked Mikey. I think I explained this on a previous stream, so I won't go as deep as I did then. But I'll say this, part 1 I enjoyed way more than I was expecting to. And number 2 I thought was okay, would probably be, it was a bit shit though at times, but it would probably be a better movie if it was a standalone movie. Like if you didn't know about It 1 at all, I think 2 might have stood up better, but yeah. You've got to watch The Thing too. What, you mean the one with Mary Elizabeth Winstead? I've seen that one. It's not good. Gary5 says, if you tell a Jurassic World Dominion spoiler to us, warn us, okay? I'm making dinner watching you. Okay, here's a spoiler for Jurassic World Dominion. Grant falls into a wood chipper and dies. There you go, how's that for you? And that's a real spoiler, by the way. You won't believe me, but it actually is a real spoiler. And you're all going to be like... So why it's such a perfect spoiler is, one, you're not going to believe me when I say it, so I can get away with saying it. Two, it's still going to surprise you when you see it in the movie, even though you knew it. You just don't believe me, so you're not going to be sitting there thinking about Grant falling into a wood chipper when you're watching the movie. And then when it happens, you're going to be like, oh, I knew that was going to happen because Jack told me, but I didn't think it was going to happen, and you're still going to be surprised. That's the beauty of it. Now, Owen Grady lives. He's a Chad. He's a Chad winner. Right, so M30, and this will be the last one we do for this, I think. Gary5 says, we'll see, Jack, we'll see. You will. You will see. You will watch it next year, and you'll be like cursing me, and you'll be like, why did Jack decide to like tell a spoiler when he's been so anti-spoiler the entire time? I can tell you, because I just don't care. I'm jumping ship after Dominion. I'm done with Jurassic after Dominion. This whole channel's going to turn into a The Mummy 2017 fan channel. The Tom Cruise movie. I'm going to make a whole channel, this channel, dedicated to that movie, and the Dark Universe, whatever they were going to do. Right. Mikey says Kirby still owns Al in the kitchen. He does, and he'll own forever after Dominion because Alan Grant is dead. He's dead, son. It's like, it's not that you like actually see him go into the wood chipper and like die, but like you see him fall toward, like fall into it. Because it's an industrial size one. It's not like a little one that you're feeding things through. It's like a huge industrial size wood chipper for like giant tree trunks, and he falls in, and everyone looks away, and you can tell he's gone. Like, So it's not like you see him screaming and writhing around or anything like that. It's done in like kind of an typical Jurassic Park kind of death off screen. Think Nash in Jurassic Park 3. You know, like he gets stood on by the Spinosaurus and then its jaws come down and then you see everyone like, oh, like they look away. It's kind of like that. It's like, you know, they're a goner even though you didn't actually see it take place. That's why Michael Giacchino wrote that track called Alan for Granted, because that's during that song plays during a scene when the characters are discussing how much they didn't appreciate Grant. You know, after they watched him fall into a wood chipper. No, he's skinny. He doesn't have his hat on when he falls in, so there's no chance of Billy saving. Mikey says, will you name the channel Tom Cruise Appreciation Society, or will a specific film of his? No, it'd be called the Dark Universe Fan Channel. Dark Universe Theory, that's what I'll call it. Dark Universe, Tom Cruise. Oh, by the way, just for those of you who are watching, I just want to go on record to say I don't think Brad at the Jurassic Park podcast has watched my video. Or if he has, he hasn't acknowledged it. So it's one of those things where, alright, I've done everything I could to get things straight. But Mammoth Chat says, "Ayy." Jason Kruger says he's playing us. He's going to become the new director of Extended Jurassic Productions, or whatever the branch will be called. No, I wish. And Facts and Furious with George says, congrats on 10k. Well, thank you very much. That happened ages ago, but thank you. Not that you knew, you probably just came back. I think I posted... When did I post about passing 10k? You were like, I think I made a little channel thing about it. When did I post about that? Two months ago. It was 2 months ago. But thank you very much, man. It's been nice to hit 10,000 after all this time. I was jumping from like 9,960 to 9,940, like bouncing between that area for absolutely ages, and I was like, what is going on here? But we finally crossed over, and it's actually only been going up since then. Facts of Fury says, I'm still binging Jack Anthony Ewans. I know, people love that channel. I like my Jurassic June series on there, and I think I like my series with my friend Ross where we talked about Alien. But that channel, like, this channel's way better than that one. Even though this channel has devolved into Jack live streaming a lot, once a week, and not much else. You know, once I was saying this to my wife the other day. Like, once I've got episode 4 of Dino-Defenders out, I'm going to take a break from painting for a little while, from painting this series, because I've been painting it so much, and I need to get my head around episode 5, and I want to make sure it's right. But in the meantime, I'll be back making other videos for a little bit. Like, it's funny because if you go through my channel's history, you'll see that there is that. Like, whenever I finish an episode, there's like a lull period where like loads of like different types of videos come out because I'm not working on Dino-Defenders. So that's what I'm planning on doing. I want to do the last Skull Island video, Skull Island files on Godzilla vs. Kong. Just be a short little video about that. I want to finish off that series. And I want to do a Pterodome episode. I want to do all sorts. I want to do some different videos. Like, I want to do a Pterodome episode on Camp Cretaceous. Jason Kruger says, speaking of that video you just did, there's an idea that InGen could fill some gaps with other dinos in the same family and it wouldn't be considered a hybrid. I think that's the same thing though. Like, still mixing dino DNA even if it's from the same family. No, I don't think they could do that. I understand what you're saying, but I don't think that that's... I think, like, let's say you're saying like if they mixed Suchomimus DNA with a Spinosaurus DNA, right? I don't think that was possible until you know, Jurassic World was a thing. Mainly because if you watch the InGen Tomorrow Today viral video, they show a Suchomimus being a Baryonyx being turned into a Suchomimus, or the other way around, and you know, that's them talking about how like they can switch things on and off to turn different dinosaurs to different things. And I think that that's like part of the whole history of the canon, is like these are the sort of things they learned as they were going. Facts and Fury says, oh, anyway, I'm going to go back to being inactive. I'll come along some other time to visit. Alright, thanks, man. It's a really nice way of saying you got to go. Mikey says, taking breaks is important. Sometimes you come up with a new idea or a different way of doing a scene or picture. Oh, by the way, I have the title for episode 4 now. For this episode. Shall I show you? Shall I show you the frame? So this... And I'll post something about on Patreon about this. Let me put this down there. So this is the title of episode 4. Finally came to me. Are you ready? Here we go. Yeah. Chapter 4. God is alive. Oh. I love it. The original title of this episode, the working title of this episode, was Gods and Monsters. And it was like a Frankenstein kind of hint at, and I was just like, because there's that line, I believe it's in Bride of Frankenstein, where he's like, it's a world of gods and monsters. And I was like, that's cool. And that was way back, and I started looking at it and I was like, gods and monsters, gods and monsters. Like, this sounds too cheesy. It sounds too obvious. Gods and monsters. I was like, of course. And then I was like, ooh. And then I was listening to the Kanye West album, Jesus is King. And there's a line where he says, God is alive, yeah. And I was like, ooh, there it is. That's the title. God is alive. Because it story-wise in episode 4, it means so much. So I'm like, yeah. So I'll leave you guys to speculate on that. There. Big Shark says, wow. I knew you'd like that. Getting Prometheus vibes even more. Skinny Devil Lord says, I need a Jurassic Misconception video about Dieter Stark's death. His last scream always sounded like he's singing a song to me. I need to know if it's a canon. It's funny you say that, because I actually did attempt a misconception video about Dieter Stark's death. And it was actually about the compy that he goes to stun before they start chasing him. You know, the one that bursts out of the bushes and screams at him. And it was going to link into the conception that some fans have said about the Jurassic World movies, how the dinosaurs don't act like dinosaurs, they act like monsters and all this sort of stuff. Like they don't act like real animals, or blah blah blah, whatever, you know, that old chestnut. I was going to tie it into that, but the point I was going to make was that, like, the compy recognizes the stun gun. So from the moment Dieter Stark stunned that compy, the film is laying out that compy amassed an army of compies. Or, like, even though, you know, they travel in those little packs anyway, because we see them at the beginning. But, like, it then basically got all the other compies to follow Dieter across the island and eat him as almost like revenge. Because how would that compy know how to recognise that stun baton unless it was the one who got stunned? Gary5 says, God creates dinosaurs, God destroys dinosaurs, God creates man, man destroys God, and man creates dinosaurs. I'm going to make a play on that once episode 4's out. Someone remind me. Once episode 4's out, I'm going to take that quote from Jurassic Park and I'm going to do the Dino-Defenders version. God is alive. Right, so we'll get these last little tail bits done and then we're going to move on to a different shot. So let's do that, and that should go rah, rah, rah. Big Shark says, are you ever going to make a comic in your original style for 1 and 2? Since I heard you were planning on redoing episodes 1 and 2. A comic? In my original style? What do you mean? I'm confused. Alex Lemon says, howdy ho gang, I've arrived. Well, hello there. Right, so I'm just going to save these because I just need to save these to... Oops. Let's go all the way to here. Delete. Right, so save this. Save this. M29. Oh, by the way, you might hear that I've got a new clock. Let me know if you can hear the new clock in the chat, because if so, I'm booting it. Right, there we go. Mikey says, I also liked Prometheus but found it very confusing. Did the engineers draw the paintings in the cave? No, humans did. Humans drew the paintings in the cave. I've heard very little about the British dinos, Rob Rice. I've heard that there's like this new place that's got a lot of funding. It has like 50,000 fossils in it. Or something. Why am I yawning already? We've only been going 45 minutes. There we go. Right. So I've saved that. Let's... Well, let me just do something. Just going to get rid of Photoshop because... Ah no, you wouldn't have seen spoilers. I was worried you were going to see spoilers, but luckily you're not. Okay. Yeah. So we want... This file, this is it. This is what we want. Right, now we're going to... I'm just going to edit the background because I wanted to... I originally was going to do this background for something else, but now I'm going to change it. No, Rob, you know more about dinosaurs than I do. Judging by the fact that you know all their names. I had not heard about any of those. Woo woo woo, what are you doing? Right. So what I want to do is grab this floor bit here. Big Shark says, so Jack, did you ever read Fire and Stone, the continuation of Prometheus? No, I did not. I didn't. Never really got around to it. I never really had the urge to read it, actually, if I'm honest. I know, like, in later issues, didn't they introduce the Predators into that? Like, in later issues? Not the Predators. I thought it was like kind of a neat idea, but for me, I was waiting for the film continuation, and then we got it with Covenant. And oh boy, did I love that movie. And oh boy, am I disappointed that we're probably not going to get a sequel to that. Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, that's good. We'll merge those and call it top. Call this one bottom. Okay, now we... Oh, I should open up the file I was just playing with, because I'm going to need this and this and this and this and this and anything else will I need? This. I think that's everything. Yep. Alright, bring those over here. So we're going to need Megalosaurus colors, put that at the top. Calypso colors, put that at the top. And then put those all at the top as well. Okay. Right, how big do we want this to be? Layout. We'll just call it white. Ooh, that's not right. There we go. What are you guys saying? You always think of the Deacon when you see Bladekin. Skinny Devil Lord says the compies might have had a plan, but they still managed to make them feel pretty animalistic. Yeah, they did. It's just like, if you think about it, it's like, interesting. Right. Bung it up there. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna toy around with something. That's basically what we want, but I'll tweak it. Oh, you know what? No, I'm going to save this. No, I'm doing this wrong. I'll save that as a different file. No, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. We don't need that one. We need... this one? This one. This is what we need. Ho ho ho. We need this old big load of stuff. And what I might actually do, I might be a bit cheeky here and move some of these props back. Basically, I need to clear the fighting arena. Oh my god, come on. And then depending on where the fight goes, I can move certain props. We'll move this back. We'll put it like there. Oh, you know what? I should copy, paste that. Alex says this series needs more curvy booty. I'm jonesing for a skimpy Arabic bombshell adventurer. Think Jasmine cosplaying as Lara Croft. That's what I want. No. That's what I say to that. I've already got all the characters. The reason I can get away, I think, with moving some of these props back is because the camera's going to be moving a lot in this shot, and you're not really going to be focused on the ground anyway. So let's put those like that, and then just get this tool. There we go. And then we're just going to merge these. Mikey says Bladekin is very threatening. I like how the blade makes his head strange. Oh, his head shape odd. That's more disturbing. I like hearing that. Okay, now let's open back up what we were doing. Bring all those back over into this one. Hey. Right, put that there, and then I'm just going to open up frame from episode 3. you're not really going to see it in this amount of detail. Oh, what did I just do? Nothing. Nothing. It's all about prep. Get that prep. Get that prep. Now, what I did was for Calypso, I actually took pictures of this like I'll show you this, like I modeled this like stupid little thing out of like plasticine and took loads of pictures of it from different angles so I could kind of get the right body shape. And I think for this one we're basically gonna need that, like that back shot. Is this another back shot? Oh, it is. We kind of need that one, but rotated. Yeah, just slightly. So just cut that out crudely. This was ages ago I did these. Oh my god, they're huge. No. See? I should have taken more. Oh well, might come in handy later. Okay, we're just going to have to make this up. Let's get Calypso down here. Get over here. Oh, we want... You know what? Let's draw the Megalosaurus first, because that way I can use it as like an eye line for Calypso. So I wonder if I can do all layers. I wonder if that'll work. Let me just see. I just want to see if this works. Oh my god, it does. Okay, well, for whatever reason, that other file was the one with the glitch. Alex asks, how would you reboot Primeval? I wouldn't. I've never really watched Primeval, so I wouldn't even know where to begin. Oh, its head is slightly down more, isn't it? Hey, Jurassic Room. Love the use of plasticine, thank you. Big Shark asks, what's your thoughts on Frasier's Journey to the Centre of the Earth? I've never seen it. Although I have seen the horrendous sequel, Journey 2, with The Rock. Or have I? I can't remember if I've seen Journey to the Centre of the Earth. I might have done. I can't remember now, I'm just thinking. I might be getting it confused with that Will Ferrell movie with the dinosaurs. Right, so I'm gonna have the head like it's just finished roaring. Actually, technically it should be roaring here, shouldn't it? Because in the previous shot. So it's like the idea is it's just finishing the roar. I think I'm yawning because I've had a daddy-daughter day. I've spent most of my day with my daughter. We've been out and about, we've been swimming, we went to the park, went all over the place. No, I'm thinking I might be able to just copy this body by just now. Bring that up to the surface. Just start using it. Why not use it to my advantage? Oh god, was Michael Caine in that movie? I can't remember now. Wow, parts of the petri dish look like hell at night. Well, like this, where it's all destroyed. Destroyed. It's been destroyed. Yes, Michael Caine was in it. He didn't have much to do. I thought Jaws 4 was the worst film he did. Big Shark says that's his best film. I really like Jaws 4. I know it's a bad movie, but I have fun with it. Oh my god. Tired this evening. Let's have some more gin. Mikey says, I wish they had explained how the shark tracked the wife more in Jaws 4. It was a curse put on her by a voodoo witch doctor. And that's not a joke. That is actually the explanation. The Brodies are cursed. Yeah, I can't remember the reason why the voodoo witch doctor put the curse though on. Like, what did they do to the witch doctor to make him go, gotta get those Brodies? Oh, wait. Wait a gosh darn second now. I think I've made a terrible mistake. Let me just see something. Let me just see something. Okay, so I open up this file. I did not save this without the layers, I don't think. Oh no. I guess I won't need to, except for the very first frames of this guy. So maybe I don't need to. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so it's going to be pretty much all a guessing game. Okay, let's get the colour on this guy. The colour. El colour. I'm gonna have to tell you guys about my my little experiment that I'm gonna undertake, ready for next week's stream. I'm gonna boldly go where no man has gone before, And I'm being deadly serious when I say that. So, when I was in the city with my daughter today, she fell asleep in her pushchair. And, you know, I started wandering around shops, looking at DVDs and God knows what else, while she had her nap. And there's a shop in the UK called Poundland, where like everything in there is like a pound basically, and it's like a lot of cheap stuff. But they have a DVD section, and in there was a DVD that I picked up. Not a DVD, a Blu-ray I picked up. That I was like, okay, why? Well, okay. It's more like, why am I having this thought? But I sort of laughed so much at it. I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna boldly go where no person has gone before. I'm gonna buy this Blu-ray in order so I can watch what's on there and report back to you guys next week. Because I don't think anyone... Oh, I forgot the toe claw here. I don't think anyone has done this before. So, let me get it for you and I'll tell you all about it. For £1, I bought Transformers Age of Extinction on Blu-ray, a film that I have laughed at before in the past because I found it to be so crap. But that's not the thing. I didn't buy it for the film because I've seen the film. It's the 3 hours worth of extras. That's where I'm going to boldly go when no one's been before. I'm going to watch all the extras on this. I hope to God there's not a commentary, because I know the film's like over 3 hours long. But I'm going to watch the extras. I'm going to see what they have to say about this movie. And then I'll report on it next week. See, I haven't even got it out of its like plastic wrapper yet. But I saw this and I was looking at it and I was like, why do I have the urge to buy this? And then I was like, I looked at the extras. I was like, yeah, it's for that, isn't it? It's to see what they have to say. So I'm gonna watch that crap, and then I'm gonna get back to you guys next week. Like what I have to like. I've seen the film, right? I know what the film's like. I found it's hilarious because there's like bits where characters suddenly appear on screen and die who weren't there 5 seconds ago, and all that sort of stuff, and it's just ridiculously stupid. But I've never heard of any, and I've heard of people talk about the movie. I've just never heard anyone talk about like the extras, like the behind the scenes stuff, and I've never looked up any of the behind the scenes. So I thought, you know what, for £1, I'll dive into the extras. Let's see what they have to say about the making of Age of Extinction. Because it's trash, Jack. Well, this is the thing. What if it has... I'm probably going to be overthinking this. But like, what if it has like a really in-depth documentary for like no reason? Or like, what if it has like a documentary kind of like Alien 3, where it's like Michael Bay is like pouring his heart and soul out on screen because he's making this movie and it's like proving to be really hard. I assume it's gonna be like just those sort of behind the scenes trailers you get with movies nowadays, whereas like they're basically promoting the movie at the same time that they're talking about making it, rather than actually talking about the filmmaking process. They're, you know, that's what a lot of the like Fallen Kingdom, not all of it, but like there was a lot of Fallen Kingdom behind the scenes extras that were like that, where it's just like promoting the movie. Gary Pfeiffer says, when you say go nowhere, when you said go where no man has gone before, I thought you meant you were going to place official nudity on screen in Dino-Defenders Extreme. Oh, there is nudity in Dino-Defenders Extreme. There is. You don't have to fear about that. It's in there. Tastefully done, mind you. It says good luck, Jake. I thought you were going to watch The Last Night. If they had The Last Night in there, I would have picked that up because I haven't seen it, so I would have bought it for £1 just to watch it. But no, I've bought one I've already seen, a film that I actually don't like, but I bought it for the extras. I bought it so I can go on this little journey into the making of it. Like, see what the extras are. See what those 3 hours worth of extras. What have they got to offer? What have they got to talk about? I know the film is like 3 hours long, so there better be a lot of stuff to talk about. Unless... Okay, so it does, look, for you guys. So just so I'm not being duped, it says over 3 hours of special features. So it's not just 3 hours, it's over 3 hours of special features. But the thing was, I suddenly had a panic attack then thinking, oh god, did they say over 3 hours of content? Because the film is 3 hours long, so that means I might have just bought the film. But no. There's extras. And I want to know what they are. Hello, Cretaceous the Hunted. So I'm going to do the cartoon thing. You know how like cartoons, like a character will get hurt and then the next scene they're completely fine? Or like if they've got like a damage on them, then the next shot they're like, again, they're okay. Like, I'm doing that in this, but like kind of slowly wheeling, like it's got blood on its mouth and I don't want to keep animating blood on its mouth, so I'm going to, each frame I'm going to slowly make it disappear, so before your eyes you can see it disappearing. Okay, so we've got that one done. Oh no, we haven't. Oh no. Need to put his little mouth muscles on. His little cheek flaps. Cretaceous the Hunter says, have you seen the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 4 teaser? Yes, I have. And like I said, I don't think they're going to an island. I think they're going to the mainland. And if there is an island, it's a fake one. Not real. Not real, man. Right, so we've got that done. M1 is done. Don't think I'm going to need this one. Let's get rid of that. Right, now let's do Calypso. Oh, I might just tilt the head. Oh my god, I haven't even done the neck stripes. What are you doing, Jack? What are you doing? Oof, that would have been bad. I need to bend the head down, I think, a little bit more. Yeah, like that. Okay, so Calypso. Right, so let's get this right. And might have been a bit too long. Calypso has been like the hardest thing to draw. because that's meant to be like hanging over. Painting a Megalosaurus? Yes, I am. Well, I'm now painting Calypso. Just need to get the basic shape down, and then I'll... So that's like the broken bit. No, you know what? Start this again. Start this again. This is why it's hard, because I've drawn Calypso in such a kind of complicated way. You know what I need? I need to open up. Oh, what am I thinking of? The frame from episode 3 again. Oh my word. Need that. Where are you? Problemo. Right, so... Yeah, that's the top bit. Okay. That with the emergency pull switch on it. Okay. Try and visualize this as best I can. Think rudimentary cubes. And shapes. Okay. This is why I've not been like looking forward to like animating this sequence because of the nature of what I'm animating. Okay, and then the leg. Yeah, the leg hole can be there. Actually, let's get a different colour for that. Why have I put the colours so far away? So I'm already noticing that this top cube thing is massive when it doesn't need to be. I might actually put that bit on last. Okay. I might even put like a brake light on the back, just for something really fun. So what does the inside of Calypso look like? Let me see if I can show you. This is rough. I can't show you the controls because they're connected to a character. But this is sort of rough. You can kind of see the idea here. And then you've got like lights like this. If I can show you like the lights, they blink like that. Oop. Thank you for the $2 tip, Big Shark. That is most kind of you. Thank you very much. Let's try and get this. No. Let's do the leg after we've done the joints. Hello, Jurassic Hero. I see now the body just looks too flat where it is on the ground. Need to raise it up. It needs to be bigger. Bigger! Bigger! So again, like I was saying, this is why I was not looking forward to animating this sequence. Like, to get this guy to move in sort of 3D, 2D animate this character is hell because it's such a strange shape. Oh my god. Ugh. There we go. No, still too thick. Jurassic Hero, the hands, the wrists of the dinosaurs are the way they are because that's how I've drawn them. Because that's how I remember growing up with dinosaurs. I don't care if it's scientifically inaccurate or not. In the world of Dino-Defenders, the dinosaurs, you know, they have their wrists like this, but they can also do this. Look. They could even do that if they wanted to. And they could do this. They could do this with their wrists. The dinosaurs could do this. They can rotate their wrists. How many lasers does Calypso have? Says Hot Fart. Actually, it's funny you say that. 1. It has 1. And do you know how I know it's got 1? Because you just gave me the idea. So... where are we looking? Okay, and we just add on a little bit of a... Hot Cream Fuzzers, did you ever get around to the new CGI Thunderbirds? No, I don't think I have. Isn't that the one where they use like miniatures as well? Big Shark says it's meant for studying. Oh, don't worry, Calypso has weaponry for defense. To make this right, let's move your little doohickey, make it bigger. Jurassic Hero says rockets can cause more environmental damage than lasers. Then Big Shark says, I don't think environmental is going to be a problem. And then Jurassic Hero said, okay, is Big Shark a climate change denier? I hate those guys. He says, and no, I don't work for Peter nor Earth First. I'm more of an environmentalist. Big Shark says, I think you're a little too much thinking about stuff Jack doesn't think of. Yeah, I'm not thinking about that sort of stuff. Fuck the environment. They can blow up trees and use rockets. That doesn't matter to me. Because guess what? These trees, they're just pixels on a paint on Photoshop. They're not real trees. Right, okay, let's get the colours in this guy. So this is one of the reasons why I've said I don't think I'm going to make my December release date, because animating Calypso is just another level of crazy. I've done 3 shots of Calypso so far, but 2 of them I've managed to animate it in such a way where I can have like one section of Calypso not move, and then like only do the legs, that kind of thing. And then I've had one shot where I've animated Calypso fully, like I've done with the dinosaurs, and it's just getting all these little shapes right. Like, for example, I've been drawing dinosaurs for God knows how long, since I was tiny little kid. But drawing mechs is like a whole different kettle of fish. Mikey says, in 10 years we'll be automatically doing what's best for the environment. Siri will become an android able to do all that sort of thing. Jurassic James says, hello John. How's painting going? Good, but also stressful, because I'm animating Calypso, this robot dinosaur looking thing, and I've only gone and designed it to be this insanely complicated shape. And animating it is just even just getting it down at this angle has been taking a while. But we're getting there. The trick to this sort of fight sequence is quick shots. Quick shots is the trick. So not like lingering on the action too much. Now let's get this. Oh, I will take my time. Now, actually, we did have a shot. Look, there's a shot of the back of what these vents look like from episode 3. So, by the way, did you guys ever see all the detail inside that little panel being open? And also, you can kind of get a glimpse on the inside there. And you can see that, like on shots like this, it's like way more detailed than what you're going to see here. And it probably might not even match up. It's just, as long as it looks similar. But yeah, so it's going to be grey with like 3 black lines. So all I need to do is grab this colour. We just do... too thick a brush. There you go. Now I need the tail. No, I'm even going to do like the inside of the tail. Mikey says, what was the problem keeping the vehicle in the garage? It's like gyroscope was out of... they were saying there was a bit of a glitch with it. So the thing that keeps the body level, so the legs, like as the legs are moving, the body's staying level. Jurassic Hero says, because of Calypso with dangerous weaponry, does this series involve killing dinosaurs or protecting them? Because the show is called Dino-Defenders Extreme, right? You will find out why the show is called Dino-Defenders Extreme in episode 4. Like, you will know by the end of this episode why the show is called that. Okay, I just want to neaten up some of this because it looks a bit messy. think the size might be a little bit off, but we'll get that right now. With the cow colours, we're going to need a red. Call it backlight. Light. There we go. Blip, blip, blip. It's got a brake light. Why has it got a brake light? Okay, so oh wait, oh good god, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Got to do the eye. Got to do the little pupil in the eye. Okay. So let's just remove all that. So you can see here it's still messy. Just want to neaten it up still. Do I believe in ghosts? Facts and theories with George. Depends. It depends, because while if we're talking like the traditional ghost, like the living, like a spirit of a person floating around and interacting with us, I'm inclined to say not so much, but it's all about perspective. Because when I watch, for example, someone who's died in like a movie, that's technically like looking at a ghost. Especially if it's something you haven't seen before, because you'll be experiencing something new with that person that you've never experienced before when you're watching it. Even though that person is dead. Now, it's not exactly like, you know, the traditional eye holes in sheets ghost going ooh, down some old rickety corridor or something like that. But what I mean is, like, it can almost fit the definition of a ghost. No, there's not going to be a Dino-Defenders Extreme Season 2. There's 5 episodes, and then it's done. Except for, like, sticking all those 5 episodes together in the big, the actual cut, the movie of Dino-Defenders Extreme, the final version. Because it's not meant to be a series, really. It's meant to be like an animated movie. I'm just releasing the chapters as episodes so you guys can actually follow along and follow the progress. paranormal. I don't know. Maybe. It's one of those things where like the world and our universe that we're in is so weird that I wouldn't be surprised if something like akin to a ghost existed. That wouldn't surprise me. Facts and Fears with George says, I like how YouTubers like you and few others are showing that YouTube isn't just a site where you can post low edited Mario Kart videos with your brother anymore and has actual quality. Like we basically get to watch a movie without committing piracy for free. I guess so. You're just watching me work basically. You know what? I might commit a sin and get rid of that. A continuity sin. Just get rid of that. Just get rid of that piece of junk on the floor. It might be in the way. Okay, so now I might do the unenviable task. Well, that's going to take so bloody long, isn't it? Okay. Oh, my word. If you do make a DVD, I'll buy it. I do want to see about like getting Dino-Defenders on DVD somehow. It'd be kind of cool. Right, so got to work out what the next frame is now. Ah, actually, you know what? With C1, I think if I cut out the body like this, I bet I could do it so it's like lifts up like that. No. No, I know what I want to do. Alright, let's just commit. Let's just commit. Oh, this is going to take so long. Nope. Oh, thank you, Facts and Furious, putting the notifications on. Jurassic James says, I'm looking forward to Alan Grant falling into the wood chipper in Dominion. You shouldn't. It's a terrifying, it's like a sad scene, seeing this beloved character die. Ah, Mike Tharme. He's here. Right. I need to work out what I need to work out, like, what's gonna happen in this shot. Cool, you're logging on to Discord, sweet. I think it's gonna have to... I think it's gonna have to, like, go backwards, like walk backwards this way. That's what I think is gonna have to happen. So maybe I can use this body then. Yeah, maybe I will. And just edit the legs. Well, this is what it's all about. Alex Allen says, what is your favourite dinosaur from Dino-Defenders Extreme? Probably the Megaraptor. That or this guy here, Bladekin, the Megalosaurus. What else are you guys saying? I don't know who Jurassic Hero's talking to. Oh, he says, because the Buck's T-Rex destroyed a bus, and yet the Spinosaurus just happened to snap the T-Rex neck without opposable thumbs, and somehow the T-Rex didn't slip out of her hands. That's fine. I don't know what he's talking about. What is that robot, says Alex? That is Calypso. That is this thing here. I'll show you. Calypso. Introduced in episode 2 of Dino-Defenders Extreme by word of mouth. Seen like this for the first time in episode 3 of Dino-Defenders Extreme. And then in action in episode 4. There's also the bloody hardest thing ever to animate. Ah, here he is. Hello?
How are we working?
You are, I'm going to turn you up.
Hey! Right, where is my camera setting? Is my camera actually switched on? Yeah, I'm fine.
Good, good.
Where is my camera settings disappeared to now?
You don't need your camera on. Oh, you're not gonna. I'm not gonna see the camera on live stream.
Oh, okay, that's fine. There we go. Yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good. Sorry about it being as late as it is. We've been in Manchester, Halloween costume shopping, and it's just taken an absolute toll on us today. So it's like,
Did you buy a costume?
Yeah, and I don't know whether I want to reveal it actually, because it's such a really cool concept, but at the same time, it's like I don't know how cheesy it's going to look when it's done. But
yeah, save it.
Yeah,
because then if it's like really embarrassing, you can say, "Hey, no, I never got one."
Yeah, no, it was rubbish. It was absolute rubbish, and I couldn't bother. Well, the only thing I will say about it is that it's a movie mashup costume. And there's 30 years between 3 of the movies that it's referencing. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god. Alright. I'm intrigued now.
Yeah, that should be good. How are you doing anyway? You alright?
Oh man, just being a dad and working hard for Chronicle and then on trying to fit Dino-Defenders in wherever I can and wrapping my head around animating this mech that is like the most complicated shape I decided to ever choose for something.
Yeah.
Why did I choose to design it like this? Why couldn't I have picked something really simple?
Why didn't you design it around the Kenner Aliens power suit, and then you could have just used the model as a reference?
yeah, exactly. Well, you weren't here earlier. I built Calypso out of plasticine, like really.
Okay.
I'll open one of the pictures. Where is it? Let me just see. If you're watching the stream, you'll see it. It comes up. I built it very, very crudely, like the most blobby thing.
Yeah.
And then I took pictures of this from all different angles, and I've destroyed this thing now. It's long gone, and I wish I still had it, because then I could actually take pictures of it. But we'll get there.
Yeah, you'll get there. That's sweet. No, I'm glad you're doing well, and the family's doing well as well.
Yeah, oh man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. How's the wife doing? Is she doing all right?
Yeah, she's fine. She's starting up a new company. It's just called.
Really?
Called Tiddly Folk, where she's going to be playing like folk music for little ones. So like, some people like hire a clown for their birthday party or whatever. Like, no, this is the idea is it'll be playing folk music and doing little Kayleys for little babies and their parents and stuff. It's something different. You don't usually hear about, and she's already got a few bookings, so which is really
fantastic.
good.
No, I'm really pleased to hear that.
Yeah, really good, and she's just enjoying being a mum. Like that's the home life.
Yeah,
and because I work from home, like we get to hang out every day, which is fun. Really fun to see them.
Yeah, no, that's brilliant, that mate. Really pleased for you all.
Yeah, it's good. It's very good. They're just excellent. Like when you're seeing these little people evolve in front of your eyes. Like this week, she's learned how to say A, B, C. And you're like, okay, you're not even 2 yet. How do you know this, you wizard? Granted, it is like this. She goes, A, and then I go B, and she goes, B. And then I go C, and she goes, S, S, like this. But, yeah, that's just magical.
No, that's good, that. I have to say, my niece turned, what is she now? I think she just turned 1 a few months ago. She was born during lockdown, so we've not seen anything of her at all, apart from the photos that my sister posts, like every so often. And oh boy, it's like you don't even realise how much a child grows in that first space of a year. It's just like, oh my god.
Yes, they're like a clock. Like if you stare at a clock long enough, you can actually see it moving.
Yeah,
it's like that. You look at them long enough, you'll see them stretch. You'll see them grow. You'll be like, oh my god, I can see you growing in front of my eyes. It's crazy.
Oh, no, it is. It really is. But, no, it's good that everyone's doing well. Things are evolving up here, as you probably know from the WhatsApp group. Willow's looking to go back to university. Hopefully in the next year to study doing alternative therapy. So her and a friend want to set up like a healing centre where, rather than go not so much down the alternative medicine route, but more like meditation. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a few other practices, gong baths, that sort of thing. So it's like it has a different healing factor for a lot of people, apart from just using the box standard medication. But it also helps with people with mental health issues as well. So it'll be kind of like, rather than going into the hustle and bustle of the business world, you can just go down to their centre and effectively just have like a Reiki session or another alternative therapy option, and it just takes you out of that and brings you down to a calmer level. So if they can get that going, then that'd be quite good. But she needs to get a few degrees under her belt, unfortunately. So yeah, she's looking at doing the whole BA honours route like I did all those many years ago.
Oh my word! Have you told her how long it'll take? And
oh god, yeah. I mean, luckily she's not. She's not stressing out about it, which is great, because she's been under a lot of pressure with her back and leg being as knackered as they were since August.
Yeah.
But she's kind of like, right, I know it'll take as long as it needs to be, and she's not kind of like giving herself a deadline, like, I need to have a business up and running by this time next year in 2024 or anything like that, which is great. But yeah, no, it's just good to see her having a bit of zest for life again. Because I remember a few years ago when we were still dating, she was in the mindset that she wanted to go to study to be either a vet or a zoologist, something that was working closely with animals. And when she was trying to find courses, it was like, okay, well, the nearest course that's to us is about 10 miles away. And there's no way you can commute it. It's in the middle of nowhere, so you can't even just kind of like, hop on a bus or something to get down to the nearest venue or something for it. You either have to move out there, or you have to drive. And it's like, she was quite disheartened that she couldn't do what she wanted to do. But I think over the years, as her job's progressed and as she's grown as a person as well, it's like, she's realised that she wants to do something that's more about helping people that need more than just pills and going into a hospital to be told,
even just if it's just an ear to talk to, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
And
thing. I think a lot of people just want to be listened to, and that's
yeah,
part of it as
definitely.
well.
Yeah, I mean, in this day and age, especially, it's like the amount of stuff that's going on.
Mm.
I'm surprised that there's not more of this sort of service around. This it seems to be very much prevalent of, we're still stuck in like the 1960s or the 70s or something where, you still go to do a 9 to 5 job, you come home, you cook dinner, and then you just get on with it. But now when you've got things like, social media and the internet as a whole, and different ways of communicating with people, and some people don't want to communicate at all, and yeah, it's a lot more taxing on a person's mentality than what people realize, especially for the elderly generation, but also the younger generation, because all they're growing up with the changes in technology. You're still effectively trying to keep up with the Kardashians. You're just constantly forever changing and adapting. You can't just take a moment to relax or anything, otherwise you just get left behind with everybody else. So it's a struggle. It's a struggle, but
Yeah, but
no,
she wants to help, and that's the good thing,
yeah,
because there's people
yeah,
out there like
exactly.
her who want to actually do something.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm pleased that she's wanting to do that, and hopefully that she'll get where she wants to be with it all, and find her happy place like I found my happy place. So
Yeah,
can't
you
complain really.
have. This is why we wanted to get you on,
Mm.
because you've got to tell everyone about your Kickstarter.
Oh God, yes. Oh,
Yeah,
I
tell
really
me more
can't
about
wait.
it, because I'm a little bit naive to it, if I'm honest.
Yeah,
I know
that's fine. That's
you
fine.
got. Should we see how much I know? Right.
Yeah, go on.
You got access to the original Phil Tippett Jurassic Park Velociraptor blueprints for the stop motion puppet that they had
Yes.
back in the day. And so you're recreating Phil Tippett's Velociraptor puppet from the ground up from these blueprints
Yeah.
to then sell them to people.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, and correct to a point anyway.
Right.
The problem is that if you look at those original blueprints, because they are available online, if you type in Velociraptor Armature 1992, they will come up with the prop store auction from a few years ago. And if you look at those armatures, they are very basic, they're very bland, and to be honest with you, you wouldn't even be able to tell, apart from the initial outline, that if it didn't have Jurassic Park on it, you could just easily mistake it as a bog standard dinosaur. There's nothing specific about it.
Right.
So I made the decision that, as well as taking these blueprints and effectively recreating these armatures, that we need to put a bit of a spin on it, so that as whether it's the people as a collector, for something like this, that want it on a shelf, or they want to actually animate the thing, or if they just want to mess around with it or whatever, build it as a hobby project and give it skin and all the rest of it, we were going to do something different. So we decided to add an actual skull, which was made by Mechs, which is very generous of him to take his time out to do that, because it looks absolutely phenomenal.
Is that the guy who does the Rubbosauruses?
It is indeed, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've been following his work for a while. So when I messaged him saying, could you just do us an STL file so we can purchase it off you and use it for the company? And he was like, yeah, sure. So we had a bit of a back and forth banter about how it should look and how close to the Raptor we wanted it to look without physically being something that you could say, oh, that's a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. Well, for starters, it's not an official licensed product, so we can't go around saying it is a Jurassic Park Phil Tippett replica.
Yeah.
But then there's also modifications that we have to do with it to kind of make it fit more of the animation toolkit, creature kit vibe, as opposed to, it just feels like it's lacking in some ways. Because again, going back to Phil Tippett's original blueprints, for the torso area, he just had a basic square block. So you had nothing to fill out that chest cavity. So we decided to make a larger piece that would make it feel like a more robust piece of kit, really. And again, for people that want to use it as a model kit, you've got that area then to kind of frame your torso around that area, rather than having to pad it out with something. And again, if you need to press the puppet, you're then condensing a lot of that surface area down just for the sake of posing the torso in a particular frame. So it's been a very fun and interesting project. I'm hoping we've actually got the scale right, because the one thing we couldn't find was an actual scale reference, apart from analysing the photos in the in the behind the scenes stuff.
Isn't there like a video in the behind the scenes of someone animating it? So
yes,
if you look at
you
look at the person, you can kind of judge from there. Yeah,
you judge, because originally we were looking at having this made on an A3 sheet of paper from nose to tail tip. And when I looked at it, I thought it feels too small still. So to me, an A3 sheet of paper is huge.
Yeah.
But when you start talking about moving puppets in that frame, suddenly that puppet still feels very small. So when looking at the scale of the puppet where they were animating for the animatic scenes, I realised how big the head of the raptor was inside of the guy's hand. So I then basically scaled up the model to fit that one proportion of the head, and then suddenly the whole puppet was like page and a half of A3 long. It was like, oh my god, this thing's going to be huge. And it's about 60 centimeters long, so that's a pretty big piece of kit right there in itself, really. So yeah, it's a beast. It's a real beast. And working on the limbs, like the toes, toe claws, figuring out the articulation for the sickle claw as well. Oh my god, it's an absolute dream of a job to do at the moment. Really is.
You don't have to get like permission off Phil Tippett's studios or anything.
If we wanted to get this officially licensed, we would. But because we're making so many modifications to the armature, it's not a direct. If it was, we're rebuilding the armature from scratch, then yes, we would have to. But because we're effectively using the likeness of it and then recreating our own specifics around it. So we've done things like, we've put an additional joint in the base of the neck so you can get a bit more articulation from the left to right rather than Phil's where it comes out on a rod, goes to a ball joint, and then you start with the neck joint going up. The fact that we've added a skull into there as well, we can change that as well.
But have they reached out, like Phil Tippett's people? Like, do
they
know?
They haven't, and I would hope that they know, because I keep tagging them in all my posts to do with it. And it would be nice.
That's probably wise. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, this is it. It's like we want these to be officially licensed. We would like Phil Tippett to acknowledge that we're doing it. But as no one's coming back to us. I mean, we have reached out to Star Wars a few years ago to ask if we could do replicas for stop motion creatures from their range from the original trilogy, and they said that we can give you that license, but we need proof to show that these things will sell and that you have the skills to make something of that caliber.
Isn't that always the way? Fine. It's like we need proof that you can sell these things, but you can't sell these things until you get the license, and we won't give it to you until you sell these things.
Exactly. And that's why I'm hoping that by going about it kind of like the long way around, by making something that's as close to an original, but it's not exact. I mean, if I wanted to make this exact, I would literally be calling up Phil Tippett Studio and saying, listen, I know we've got the
listen, mate.
Here. we've got this challenge for it. But yeah, I would 100% want to make sure that Phil's happy with it, and even the Tippett Studio is happy with it, because I don't want to be stepping on toes. And I admire the guy. He's had his 70th birthday recently, and he's got everything going on with Mad God and everything at the moment. So I don't want to be that arsehole that turns up and is like, oh yeah, we Phil Tippett's famous right now. Yeah, we can shit all over his career by making crappy replicas of his work that never even got made.
Yeah, the area of his career where he's really bitter about it, because that's all you hear about in interviews is, because that's all he gets asked about, and then it's like, the guy's had a career.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, he deserves more than the shtick that he's been getting over the past.
I see
20,
him as like,
years.
Well, he is the in terms of Hollywood movies, he is the protege. Well, he's not the protege, but he's the Ray Harryhausen of the 80s. And
he is,
and even now, like, he's, in terms of Hollywood movies, he's the guy who, like, after you had Willis O'Brien, then you had Ray Harryhausen, and then you had Phil Tippett.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
but he's the one who, like,
shits on. Yeah, exactly. I mean, in some ways, you can argue that he's not as bad as Willis O'Brien's career, but he's not as lucky as what Ray was in his career.
No.
I mean, Willis O'Brien, he had so many projects that were canned or shot down or just outright cancelled because of studios and budgets and executives and even producers that are just screwing him over. King Kong.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, Tippett, yeah, up until Jurassic Park, he had a very, very successful career, and then when that film came out, it was just like, yeah, the shit's hit the fan for him, and it has set him back by a few years. But at the same time, his career, even post CG, has done remarkably well. His Tippett Studio still going relatively strong, and
he directed Starship Troopers 2.
Exactly, yeah. Which I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I
It's
watched
not
the
a good
movie, and I was
movie.
like, it's not. It really isn't. It's like,
But the CGI is good, isn't it?
oh yeah, the CGI is phenomenal in it. I mean,
it's Phil Tippett. Yeah.
it's kind of like Stan Winston with Pumpkinhead. It's like in terms of the visual side of it, it's brilliant, but the story is like, it's not your best work, Stan. But I still love the guy.
Yeah.
But
no, that sounds really cool.
No.
And you had Peter Jackson back your project, right?
Yes, and technically I'm not supposed to acknowledge that, but yes, we did.
You had back your project, didn't you?
Yes. He's one of our most frequent customers, I should say.
Well, it's not the director. It's a guy who just happens to be called Peter Jackson, who lives in Bungay, just down the road from me.
Oh, I wish that was so true. I really do. During lockdown, the company was on the verge of going under because COVID. Students weren't buying armatures, universities weren't buying armatures, and literally he gets an email from Peter Jackson saying, I'd like to buy some of your stock for a project, and bought about 10.5 grand's worth of stock.
Wow. And
literally earlier this year, he then sunk another, I think it was about 15 grand's worth of stock into armatures. So I built a range of armatures for Peter Jackson effectively, but it's like, we don't know what the project is. We don't know if it's whether they're for Mechs, whether they're for a short film, a feature film, a segment in a film. We just don't know. We absolutely know nothing about it.
It's pretty cool, eh?
Even then, it's brilliant. I mean, I just hope whatever it is, we can turn around and say, yeah, we
you got to make a deal with
worked
them.
on that.
You got to make a deal with them, saying like, if you're going to buy our armatures and stuff, we have to know what it's for. It's in the contract.
Well, this is what one of the things is we want to do with these armatures. We don't just want to do stop motion stuff because we've got other kind of like stop motion creatures that we want to do that are paying homage to various films throughout the past 800 years of cinema. But we also want to do iconic characters. And one of the funny things is that in 2015, when we finished on the Chuck Steele Night the Trampires movie, I had a bit of downtime with the studio, so I thought, okay, well, I'll just make an armature just to basically say, okay, this is Animation Toolkit's kit, this is what you can do with it, but then this is the stuff you can also do with our stuff if you want to make a custom armature. So I had made a dragon armature, kind of in the same vein with the Vermithrax from Dragon Slayer, and it wasn't really the design was pretty much kind of like your wyvern of old, but it's got the forearm limbs, which are wings, and then your rear leg, stumpy legs, tail, long neck, all the rest of it. But it didn't look like any normal dragon that you would see on film. It was just kind of like my own interpretation of the design. And then when The Hobbit, Desolation of Smaug came out, I looked at that design and thought, it kind of has a very similar vibe about it. So I spoke to my boss and said, listen, let's just say that Peter Jackson really likes our stuff. Do you reckon it would be too far of a push to say, listen, we really like your movies, can we start making stop motion armatures of your iconic creatures, e.g. Smaug and I don't know, one of the
trolls from Braindead.
Yes, just anything like that, because Jackson's category, I mean, even like making one of the his King Kong creatures would be absolutely
yeah.
amazing to do. So yeah, we're just trying to figure out what the lay of the land is with it. I mean, we're hoping that everything on this particular Kickstarter will kind of give us a good idea of, you know, what people want in a product, whether they do want something that's just kind of like a posable statue, or whether they want as a hobby kit or something to animate with. Because yeah, I for one have a really strong feeling about this, that this is going to reach its goal, and that we are going to be able to make the 30 and hopefully more after that as well.
What if you get the?
But yeah,
have you got access to the T-Rex one?
I do, yes, and that is one that I'm hoping, if we do get this goal, that will be the next one that we work on.
I was going to say that's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say I don't know what the licensing issue around that is, because it's a recognizable, a more recognizable skull than the raptor.
Yeah, I mean,
I hope you get that one, because that one.
I hope
that
so
one
as well.
would be so insanely popular.
I mean, in a perfect world, I would just love to reach out to people like, Colin Trevorrow, Phil Tippett, hell, even Steven Spielberg, and just say, listen, we've got these ideas, we've got these products, we would like to sell them, not directly treading on toes, or if you want to officially license them, that'd be great. But at the end of the day, I just think that this is something different to everything else that everybody else produces. Everyone else produces toys, everyone produces statues, everyone produces merch in some form or another. I can honestly say I've never seen anyone make amateurs or a posable statue to this degree.
That's the thing, it's like it's got something useful as well. You're going to see people making their own like stories of these things, and that spreads awareness of it. And you know, people like take pictures of the toys and stuff, don't they? But this is like, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, you could literally make a movie with this thing if you really wanted to. And you know, it's not like the information for how to do your own stop motion puppet isn't available. I mean, compared to Ray when he was doing his old films, you know, before he even started working on Mike Joe Young, trying to find information like that was like trying to find diamonds in coal. It was just so difficult to get that kind of information, and the only reason he managed to get as far as he did is because he actually met Willis O'Brien. He got the information right from the horse's mouth. Whereas this day and age, all you need to do is just type in stop motion onto YouTube, and you've got, you know, over 1 million videos of people telling you how to do stop motion animation, how to make a puppet, how to do this, how to do that. You just can't escape that. So it's not like the information is not available out there for people to find. So no, it should be good. Hopefully, it should be good.
Good. And good luck. I really hope it works out. I'll put a link in the. If you send me the link, I'll put it in the description of this video. So anyone who's watching can, if they want to help out the Kickstarter.
Yeah, I mean, they don't. Even if people that are watching this now, it's not so much about people donating for me that matters. It's about sharing the project and making other people aware of it. Because I think that's one of the things that always upsets me a little bit with these, well, not necessarily just Kickstarter, but with any kind of, you know, really interesting things, that people look at it and say, oh, that's cool, but I can't afford it, and then just leave it. Don't think about it costs them nothing to share it. And you might have people on your friends list or a profile or something that, you know, a good chunk of them probably aren't into that thing, but then there is somebody that is, and then they'll see it, and then they'll share it, and then that gets shared, and you know, eventually it spreads around, and that's how popularity in this day and age seems to be. It's more about how often it gets shared and seen by the right people, as opposed to, you know, you hit the ground running with getting shared by, you know, Peter Jackson and reaching 1 million views in the space of a few seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Here, brother. Here.
No, damn straight. But no, we're doing well so far with it. We've got about 4.5 grand, I think, now at the moment. And
what's your target?
13.5 grand. So, and we're only on day 20 at the moment as well, or 29, I think, something like that. So we've still got a fair few days to get through it. But we've got new rewards coming, because we've decided that what we're going to do is we're going to release the drawing of the blueprints that I did. So we're not, again, it's based on the Phil Tippett original, but it's my version of those blueprints. So we're going to release those as a reward piece themselves. What what's the other thing we've got? We've got a new key ring that's coming out that's going to be a limited edition run. So every time if we do make these on a regular basis, each keychain will be unique to that particular Kickstarter campaign. So for this one, it's going to be the Anibuild logo, which is the letter A with a raptor claw in it. So if that's successful, then the next one will be a T-Rex tooth or a footprint, or something that's iconic to that particular one. And then the next one after that, it'll be I don't know, a Ghostbusters thing, or the next one after that will be a King Kong thing, or just everything's right with reference to it, and just making it a little bit unique, a little bit more of a collector's piece. I think we've got something else lined up for a reward, but I can't remember what it is now. And then after that, we've got a few Q&As to do as well. So we're doing a live stream for people that are curious about Animation Toolkit, what we do, the Kickstarter campaign, and kind of like the things that we make available as well. And then we've got a live stream with I forget the name of the guy's account now, but he has he's part of the museum that actually has a few Willis O'Brien and Ray Harryhausen artifacts in their collection. So we'll be doing a live stream with him, and he'll be bringing up those items as well, so we can talk about them and what have you as well. So yeah, it should be good. It should be really good, and hopefully this month will be a very enlightening experience for that matter.
Dude, honestly, like, I was just thinking, do you remember when you were doing Life on Mars?
Yes.
Right. And I remember when we spoke, and you were like tearing your hair out because this project was like, it was the bane of your life.
Yeah.
It was at a certain lull point in the thing, and now I'm listening to you now, and it's like night and day. You're just so animated and excited about this. It's
God,
awesome.
yeah. And I know what the problem was with the Wildlife on Mars thing is, because I had all the pressures of university. So it was like, you had to do your academic writing, you had to do your research, you have to do this, you have to do that. And all I wanted to do was just animate. To make models, to make sets, to get in there, to animate, to get into the
And that's what this is. And it's just doing that.
Yeah, it's just doing that. And I'm not having to think about, where am I going to get my next tuition fee from? Where am I going to get this from? How am I going to get access to this person so I can have a seminar interview with them about what the practicalities of playing and profession is all about? It's like, I don't care about that stuff. No one cares about that stuff. I mean, for crying out loud, in our industry, people go on the basis of your portfolio. They don't look at your academic records and say, you didn't quite make a good thesis about that point, therefore I'm not going to bring you on the next Star Wars movie.
They look at what you've done, not what because that's where you get most of your actual learning from, is experience. Yeah, and if you're only good on paper, like through numbers and letters that say that you're good at something, it's like that means nothing to employers and people who like want you for a project. I know that because I've never been to university, and I've managed to do amazing things with jobs, and it's more about like getting my boots on the ground and actually doing the work that actually got me those things. So I didn't go study.
Yeah,
I just did my own stuff.
I do think education today is going the wrong direction.
Trust me, it goes a long way to help having that all, like, because if you have the experience and a degree behind you on something like that's you're front of the queue by any stretch of the imagination. But if you have a degree and no experience, the person with experience is actually going to be the one that they're going to be thinking about more. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, no, it's a very cutthroat industry out there, unfortunately, and sometimes it's just down to the luck of the draw. I mean, when I finished at Manchester on our segment of the Chuck Steele job, they brought me down to Bridgend in South Wales, took me around the studio, showed me all the puppets, all the sets they were working on. They were looking for other model makers, so I thought, I'll have this in the bag, because I've just been working for them up in Manchester for the past 9 months. And they got the phone call a couple of weeks later saying, sorry, but we're going to take a guy on from Aardman to take the position. And I was upset and a bit annoyed, but at the same time, it's like the guy had more experience than me, and that's the thing that they needed at the time. So it's hindsight's a bitch, but that's what it is.
Yeah, been there as well.
Yeah.
As you get older, you get all these experiences in your life, and you're like, "Yep, been there, done that. I know that feeling."
Got the t-shirt. Yeah. So no, but yeah, no, it should be a good experience for us, and hopefully it'll, even if the Kickstarter fails, the only thing that we're going to get out of this is nothing but good feedback, because people are going to be aware that we can do this sort of stuff. So rather than just getting the universities and students appearing saying we'd like a human armature, we're hoping that we're going to get, whether it be short film makers or feature film makers or whatever, that are going to come up and say, listen, you're not as expensive as McKinnon and Saunders, but you're not as bad as amateur Joe that lives down the road that makes this really tacky looking armature out of wire. Can you make us a two-headed T-Rex for a Lost World spin-off series that's got a Chaos T-Rex in there somewhere? So it's like, yeah, sure, we can do that.
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
Facts and theories with George in the chat says, I hope the Kickstarter succeeds.
Oh, cheers, thank you, George. Yeah, I hope so too. And as I say before, even if you can't afford to put anything towards it, just share it. That's all. All I'm asking for people is to share it. It costs nobody nothing to share, and don't just share it to Twitter. Share it to Instagram. Share it to Facebook groups.
But don't share them this live stream, because
don't share on the live stream.
Yeah, because I've spoiled something that I shouldn't have.
Yeah,
well, not even spoiler. I've said something I shouldn't have, and I didn't know.
No, it's fine. But yeah, no, that's all I ask people is to share. I mean, if you do have £1 million in your back pocket, great. Yeah, do that. Put a Kickstarter in.
Just first send it my way. Send it to me first, and then I'll send it to Michael.
Do that, guys. Just send it to Jack, and then he can distribute to everyone that he knows.
Sure,
right, this person needs that much. That person needs that much.
Well, I might need to just, go check on this place abroad for a little bit, but I will be back. Promise.
Oh, gee. No, thank you very much for that. It's nice to hear people show interest in it. But it surprises me though how many people are actually emailing us at the moment, because we had 2 people email us. I don't know if they were from studios or whether they were just amateurs, but they were asking him, if the Kickstarter fails, are you still going to be making these Raptors to sell? Because we're interested. So at least it shows that there are people out there that want to own these things.
Oh, there will be collectors in the.
Oh god, yeah. I mean,
especially the Jurassic community will probably want to own that, because it's taken from a piece of Jurassic history that they would never own otherwise.
Yeah, especially something that's I don't even think there's an armature in existence anyway. I think the closest thing you'll get is the original Raptor puppets from the test footage, and I think even they're in a private collection now, so I don't even think you'll be able to see those in a museum anytime soon either, which is a little bit upsetting in some ways, because you see this stuff on Prop Store, and it's great. I understand why these things need to be sold off and everything, because the studios need the money, and it's just taking up valuable space, which is costing the studio money as well. But at the same time, it's these things inspire people.
They belong in a museum.
It really does. It really does. It's not going to do anything collecting dust on the shelf of someone's private collection, regardless of whether it's anyone like Peter Jackson or Bob Burns or somebody like that. It's it needs to be in a museum. It needs to be out there to inspire the next O'Brien, Harryhausen, Tippett. We need more people like that in the world. We don't need another button pusher for the sake of the Rex's eye needs to be a slightly different shade of yellow, or I need that black eyeliner around it. It's just get these people out there, they need more inspiration.
Yeah, inspiration is a big part of it, isn't it?
Exactly. I mean, just looking at your stuff alone, Dino-Defenders, the amount of references you got in there from stuff that you were inspired by as a kid.
Oh my god, there's so many going on.
I know, and it's brilliant. I just love watching it and just there's the thing.
Look at this scene alone, right? Let's take this scene right here. I'm inspired right here by instantly Jurassic Park.
Mm.
You got the sunset. You got the classic almost sunset in the background of the old packaging. You got the broken fence in the background. You've got this dinosaur, obviously, but also the dinosaur has like a knife on his head, so it's like Knife Head from Pacific Rim. It's even fighting a robot, so that's like Pacific Rim. But there's also aliens, because it's like Ripley taking on the Queen Alien, or if you really want to go Dinosaurus with Steve McQueen. Not Steve McQueen. I can't remember the name of the actor taking on a. No, it was Steve McQueen, I think. No, who was in Dinosaurus from 1960?
I'm trying to think now. You're racking my brains. Who was it?
I think Steve McQueen was. It was Burt Ward.
Burt Ward. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, because Steve McQueen was meant to be in it. That's why I'm getting confused. Was it Burt? No, wait. Dinosaur. Oh my god. I'm gonna double check now. I need to get my facts right. Ward Ramsey. Not Burt Ward. Ward Ramsey.
Yes.
I knew it was a Ward.
Oh.
Burt Ward. Where did I get Burt from?
I can't remember now. You know what? I need to really watch that movie again. It's been so long since I watched it.
It's good. It's got a little bit of stop motion in it. I say it's good. It's not like it's not great, but it's a good watch.
You know that's the last film that Marcel Delgado actually worked on for the making of the stop motion creatures.
Really?
Yeah, and I believe there's a rumor that I've heard, and I'm not 100% sure whether it's accurate or not, but I believe it should have been animated by Willis O'Brien as well, but they got somebody else to do it instead. I'll have to double check that, because Marcel and O'Brien were very close friends. He, from what I remember, when he was doing the Kong puppets, a lot of the production crew just basically treated Marcel like he was a second-hand citizen because he was from Mexico. And O'Brien took an absolute shine to him because he was just so good with not only the model making side of things, but with his engineering and animation skills. So he basically just took Marcel on as like his personal armaturist in some ways. And yeah, he's done a fantastic category of work, but a lot of it is either he was never credited for, or it was just never a good movie in that sense. So his work was amazing, but the film just bombed, and no one ever thinks to see it again, which is unfortunate. But again, it's of its time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Big Shark says Burton Tremors.
It's funny because the guy Ward Ramsey played. Where is it? I just got rid of it now. Dinosaurus 1960. He played. Was it Bart in the movie?
I think so.
So where are we looking? Go on IMDb. So Ward Ramsey played Bart Thompson. So maybe I was getting Bart stuck in my head, but that was
possibly,
Burt Ward, but it's Bart Thompson as the character, and Ward Ramsey playing the thing.
It's so weird hearing another character name by the name of Bart, and it's not yellow and in the 80s.
But I haven't actually brought up why I brought that up, because he fights a T-Rex in a digger in that movie.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
and that's like, I think it's in my Jurassic June video about that back on my old channel. I said, like, before Ripley takes on the Queen Alien in the power loader, you had Ward Ramsey taking on a T-Rex in a digger or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's the first time we ever get that sort of a mech fight between machine and dinosaur, because I know you kind of have it in was it Carnosaurus? It was like a forklift digger versus versus that monstrosity. So you had that, but yeah, I think that digger and that T-Rex were probably the first time we ever saw that on the screen. So it's nice to see you getting tradition carried on after a few decades.
But the thing is like things like robots fighting monsters. There must have been something that predates Dinosaurus that dealt with that, right?
Oh, there has to be. I mean,
it has to be. Because that's where it would come from. But now you're saying it, I'm like, 1960. When did it?
Because you would have had Godzilla around by that point, but
Mechagodzilla wasn't around.
Mechagodzilla wasn't a thing by that point. No, actually, that's a good thing to think on. Actually, I've got to look into that.
Yeah,
interesting to find out.
The Dinosaur Man in the chat says, I recently watched Dinosaurus not long ago.
What do you think of it, Dinosaur Man? What was your rating?
That was the film that also inspired Jurassic Park, because there's that bit in the movie where the T-Rex looks into a tour vehicle through the window and its eye comes right up to the window and it's just like...
Yeah.
And I swear Spielberg
shot.
was referencing that 100%.
Oh, he had to have been. I mean, there's a lot of shots in Jurassic Park where it's just like, you can clearly see it's been inspired by something like King Kong or some other old-timey film that, you know, as if you're a super fan of those sort of films in the first place, then you'll be able to pick up on it. But for a casual moviegoer, it's just a fleeting moment. So yeah, as soon as I saw that car get flipped over, it's like, yeah, that's got to be Dinosaurus for sure. Even when I was like 9 years old, I had an inkling that must be a reference to it.
Yeah, they did that exact shot. Oh wait, where's that? There's that GIF, isn't there? Dinosaurus, 1960. I want to see if I can find that image. GIF. Yeah, it's this. I'm gonna put it on the stream. It's like you look at that, and it just looks like Jurassic Park, but like way back in the day.
There's a bit of a lag on my end. Hang on a second.
I've still got it up.
How long is this lag? Oh, is it going to be one of these 5-minute lags? I hope not. Right, okay, I'll let you know when I see it. Otherwise, it's going to be a long period of silence.
And then, yeah, there's this shot. Oh my god, it's even bigger now. There's this shot in the movie where, yeah, they're in before the T-Rex attacks the tour car. It looks right into the window like this, and you know that's so blatantly Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Why didn't Spielberg think about doing that? Rather than tour cars, you could just have a big bus full of people. That would have been so much more entertaining.
Why can't Spielberg not be a hack and do something original?
Oh, God.
Says the guy who's got like 1 million different references going on in this scene right now.
Yeah, but your references are literally so subtle, and you only pick up on it if you know it.
Yeah.
Like seeing the stingray fish,
The terror fish
vehicle in the terror fish. That's it. In the fish tank, it's like, can't be referencing Stingray, can he? Does he know Stingray?
Oh, I love Stingray. I just recently finished watching all of Stingray.
How does it make you feel watching them back after all these years?
Love it. It's great.
Yeah.
But then I went on to Joe 90 and loved Joe 90 a lot. I don't know why I put that show off for so long. That was the most adult thing I've seen Jerry Anderson make.
I have to say, I remember when they were doing the reruns of the Jerry Anderson stuff in the 90s, and I watched all the Stingrays, all the Thunderbirds, all the Captain Scarlets. Joe 90 to me felt like it was the least interesting, no plot, no drive stuff to watch ever, and I completely switched it off. And now looking back at it as an adult, and it's like, actually, people got murdered in this thing. You know,
it was really interesting. Yeah, I never watched it because I thought it was too kiddie. I thought, it's just going to be like, you know, like a kid doing stuff, and it's like, because the kid's the main character. I thought, it's just going to be like kid friendly, like too kid friendly. Yeah. But no, like honestly, it's probably the most violent one out of all of them.
It's crazy.
And then I started watching The Secret Service, which I'd never heard of before, which is the last one he did with the Super Marionation.
Yeah.
And I've watched episode 1. I haven't got any further than that. I want to watch more because it's about this like vicar who has a shrinking ray hidden in a in a Bible.
Seriously, is that what it's like?
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's like the vicar is played by the actual vicar, like in real life. Like they have the same name, Father. I can't remember his name now, and he plays himself. And he has this suitcase, and it's like they have shots of like the real vicar getting into his car and driving off, and then the close-up will be the puppet, So it's like, instead of, like in Thunderbirds and stuff, they go press a button and it changes from a marionette to a real hand pressing the button. Well, this show does the whole thing. It's like, just show him getting into his car, driving off down the driveway, fully real, like they're filming it out in the English countryside somewhere. And then cut to the close-up of the car and it's the marionette, and it's like, what are we watching now? And what's funny is when he uses the shrinking ray, they shrink to the size of the marionettes are. So like, then when he shrinks his gardener down, like he prunes the hedges outside the church before they go on some secret top secret mission, and he like shrinks him down to the size of a marionette, and then obviously you can see them sitting the marionette in the suitcase, and as a real person comes up, and it's great. It's so much fun. Like, they just don't make shows like that anymore.
Oh God. Oh, I need to watch this. I really need to watch it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I've seen clips and I thought, what is this? Some kind of like Jerry Anderson ripoff?
No, it's like the
crazy.
last thing he did.
Oh,
like,
God.
with Super Marionation. It's really good fun.
No, I'll definitely have to check that out. It's been one of those things that I wish if I'd known him well enough, because I had met him a couple of occasions at comic conventions, and the only thing I ever got courage to say was, I really like your Thunderbirds and Stingray stuff, and that was it. I never got to say, like, oh, what was your inspiration for this, or why did you go from marionettes to live action later down the line? And it's only through the Jerry Anderson podcast with his son, and I forget the other co-host that's on there, but he's like been involved with a lot of Jerry Anderson productions over his career. And some of the stories that they come out with, it's like, oh my God, you just didn't realize how much effort he went to try and get the thing that he wants to do the most. But he had to make those tough calls about, he always wanted to work in live action, but he couldn't get the funding for it, so he had to do puppets.
Yeah, and that's
people
like,
then typecasted him, and it's like, get into him to do another puppet thing. It's like, wow.
You can tell though that like the reason why he didn't get the funding is you watch these puppet shows and you're like, if this was live action, this would cost millions to get done. He's blowing everything up every 5 seconds. Like that alone would be like hugely costly to build all these things just to blow them up. But but I just love that sort of stuff. There's have you seen Thunderbird 6, the movie?
Yes.
Because I hadn't watched that properly until recently, and I didn't realise that, because that's Thunderbirds, right? Obviously it's called Thunderbird 6, but it's like the last, that's technically the last chapter in the marionette Thunderbirds canon. Like, that's the last thing they do, it's the end. And I didn't realise how violent that was going to be for the last chapter, because there's a bit where like a guy murders all these people on this blimp. Like, he just goes into this room and shoots them all, like kills everyone. And then the next thing you know is you're seeing this lovely shot of a sunset with the blimp flying across with all this like triumphant music, and then you just see this little thing fall out of the blimp into the ocean, and the music goes all sinister. You're like, what the hell was that? And then it cuts to the inside, and the guy's just dumping the bodies out of this hole, and then just like these floppy like marionette puppets falling out into the ocean. And then there's this bit where the guy, like I'm just going to say the spoiler, right? The villain, they're on this biplane at the end of the movie, and the villain gets shot, and he's sat in the back seat of the biplane dead. And then later on, they're like zooming along in this biplane. They're like, oh God, and they flip the plane upside down, and then you just, with no triumphant music or anything, his body just flops out and goes careening down to the ground, and then the plane flips back up. And for a split second, I was like, what the hell is that? Because it happened so long after he's been shot. And I was like, what the hell was that? And I rewound it, and I looked and I went, oh God, it's a body. And I went, who fell out of the plane? And then I had to rewind it, and I was like, who fell? And then I got to the point where he got shot, and I went, oh my God, it was his corpse. His corpse just flopped out of this plane. And I was like, that is genius. I was like, that is so much fun. It's, brilliant film.
Yeah. I mean, it's a love-hate film for me, because I love the fact that it's kind of like how I always wish Thunderbirds was, that the Facey brothers actually had the balls to do some of the stuff that they did in this movie. Like Alan shooting somebody for a start. It's like the seriousness on his face when he did it. It's like, you can tell he's had enough. It's like, I've had enough of this bullshit. But yeah, it's just like, Oh yeah, I absolutely hate that movie so much. That was not the same film as well with the laughing puppets as well, is it? Or was that
That's
the one
that's
before
right at the beginning, where brains. They're like the brains is like that's such a good joke. Though brains is like pitching to the World Aviation Society like his next genius invention, and they're like, this is the guy who invented the Thunderbirds. We should listen to what he's going to say because he's a genius and he puts all of us in this room to shame and blah 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 blah. He can come out with something that he might say, I'm gonna give you guys something that will break the speed of light and all this sort of stuff. And then when Brains comes out, the reason they laugh is Brains goes, I've got the idea to build an airship, and they're like, an airship, and then they just start cracking up, like laughing in that manic laughter. And then it cuts to Tracy Island, and you know, Jeff Tracy's talking to Brains, and he's like, you know, I've been telling you, Brains, we need a Thunderbird 6. And Brains like, I know, sir, but you know what happened when I talked to the Aviation Society last? Like, but he's like, I know you're downhearted. And he's like, yeah, I know, they laughed at me. And he's like, they did laugh at you. And then they built it. And then it cuts to the airship. And that's when the credits kick in, and it's like the triumphant music. And I was like, that joke is genius. Like, the fact that they were cracked up, they're crying with laughter, like these hideous puppets going, for ages, and really uncomfortably long laughing. And then the fact that he just goes, yes, they did laugh. And then they built it.
They built it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So that means they weren't laughing at him, they were laughing because it was so genius. It's like, oh, brilliant.
Oh, jeez.
The comedy in that film is so good.
Oh, God, yeah. They really were. Oh, yeah, no, it's yeah, sometimes you just comes out of the weirdest of places, doesn't it? It really does.
But no, yeah, I've been loving all that, the Jerry Anderson stuff. But I think Captain Scarlet might be the best out of all of them, except for the ending, because it ends on a bloody dream episode.
Oh, like, does it? I never actually saw the very last episode.
The very last episode is like the Mystrons come down in their ships and destroy Cloud Base, like, and it's falling out of the sky with all the main characters in it. And you're like, oh my god, it's really like, oh, hard hitting. But earlier on in the episode, like, a character crashed her plane in the desert and was looking for help. And obviously after all that, you forget that you saw that, and then it cuts and she's being woke up in the desert, and you realise it was all a dream, and you're like, oh fuck.
Jeez.
And it's like, that was so good. That was such a good episode, and then you ruined it. So I was like,
I have seen that clip of Skybase being shot at and being shot down effectively, and I thought that was part of an actual full-on episode where, you know, there was Mystrons actually got so far and nearly succeeded. But
technically, it is like part of an episode, but it's just a dream. So like it makes it kind of worthless. And the last episode of Joe 90 is annoying as well, because that show's amazing, but the last episode is just a clip show. You're like, I've seen all this. Like, I hate clip shows. You're like, I've seen all this. Yeah, it's like, why? Yeah. But then you got to think back in the day. You also, for the Dream episode, you've got to think back in the day, these sort of things that we all know and complain about weren't the norm. Like, having a Dream episode might have been really cool back in the day. Like, oh, it was all a dream. Oh, thank God they didn't kill my favourite characters. Like, in this day and age, I'm like, yeah, do it. Like, just do it. Have the Mystrons win. It would be so weird. Or something like that. Because actually, technically, humans did attack the Mystrons, so we're in the wrong if you watch episode 1 of Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, that's very true. That is very true, yeah.
But like, the Joe 91, it's like, you got to think, back in the day, they wouldn't have had everything recorded, like, on Netflix and all that, so, you know, having a clip show would have been unique back in the day, because you'd be like, oh, yeah,
that's a good point.
I saw that episode, I remember that. Or you'd be like, I have never seen that episode, where was that? I must have missed that one. They didn't even have VHS back then.
I don't think they did actually, no, because that would have been 1960s, 70s, was it? 1960s, late 60s,
yeah.
Right, yeah, they wouldn't have definitely had VHS or anything back then, that's for sure. Yeah, okay.
So it's like, in that context, so I was annoyed, and then I remembered when it was made.
Yeah, I think that's a good point, actually, because there's a lot of things that people complain about, and like say at that time when it was made, they wouldn't have had the technology or even possibly even the knowledge to know that this would be the norm for, 50, 60, 70 years down the line or something. Because I think there's a lot of people that complain about the fact that what was it now, in King Kong, there's a lot, the 33 King Kong at least, there's a lot of what do you call them now, clapperboards left in the background and surface gauges and that sort of thing. And I remember someone saying to me once that it's like, well, why didn't they just reshoot the thing? It's like, well, for starters, this was only going to be played on the cinema, so it was only going to be played once, and it was never going to be on home release, and it was never going to be slowed down, stopped frame by frame, or rewound and sped up and everything. As far as the people in the 1930s were concerned, once that film played, it was just going to get thrown in the trash. So, you can't like uphold anything, pre the digital age and hold it to the same sort of standard. It's a completely different beast back then. It's like everything was different.
Yeah, there's also something to be said about the digital age now, because like they'll release a trailer with like special effects in it, and everyone will pause the thing and download it in HD and look at it, and and then they'll complain about this certain effect in one shot. And it's like, you're meant to see that in motion. Yes. Like in the movie, in the context of how you're seeing the film play out. Like you're not meant to be seeing it paused like this all the time.
And especially at that stage in the game where the effects probably aren't even half finished anyway. So what you're looking at isn't even the finished products. So if you're going to complain about half an effect finish, then you don't even deserve the movie to begin with.
But even like finished movies, like they, obviously we can pause our 4K Blu-rays now and look over everything, but you're still meant to watch them in motion. They're still meant to be movies. So like it's like watching, for example, like what I'm doing right now, you watch animation films, like especially Disney ones, and you pause. Sometimes they are hilarious. The characters look weird, like because they're in motion and they're doing like the frames in between like the hero shot frames. And it's the same with CGI things. It's like you pause it at the right time and you're gonna have something absolutely hideous because it's not right.
In fact, something you brought up a few days ago actually about the compass in 4K for The Lost World. You said they were brown or something.
Yeah, they look brown in the 4K.
And does that only work on the still, or is that when they're in full motion?
In full motion. It's like they've done a colour overhaul, and because in the Blu-ray version they're green and brown. You can see like some brownish ones running around, but in this one, like they've done something to the colour where they all pretty much look brown in that opening.
All right, okay then. I'll have to see if I can find a clip of that at some point. It's strange how they've done that. I think
it's on YouTube. Don't think they've uploaded that in 4K on YouTube yet, but.
Right, I'll keep my eyes open for it, see if it turns about. Yeah, that's a weird one, that. It's strange how people like to colorise and desaturate, enhance and all that jazz for a film that's, what's it now, 25 years now since that got released?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. God,
4K, I only buy certain films in 4K, and I was just intrigued by Jurassic in 4K, all of them.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3 actually looks way better in 4K, I think, because they've made it's moodier, like it looks even darker, and it just has a different atmosphere to it. But there's a problem with my Jurassic Park 3 4K. I think there's a sound error because all the voices seem like they're out of sync with the dialogue. But it's not. It's like it is, but it isn't at the same time.
Yeah. I'll definitely have to get that at some point then.
Lost World did look good. It's just I think the Lost World actually. I haven't watched Jurassic Park properly in 4K yet, like from start to finish. But the Lost World definitely suffered more than Jurassic Park 3. The roundup sequence did not hold up in 4K.
Really?
Yeah, some shots did, but there's ones where like they're capturing the Pachycephalosaurus, or you cut to Roland from the back as you see the herd moving along when you first see him on the game train. It's not held up the best.
Oh no, that's a real shame, that.
Yeah, but it's not meant to be viewed in 4K. It's like the King Kong thing. It was meant to be viewed in VHS back in the day.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is true.
Or DVD.
I think that's one thing that I do think I don't appreciate with at least with the Blu-rays. I can't talk about whether it's the same for the 4Ks and stuff as well. But the older films that you watch, they seem to have this thing where it looks like it's been sped up like twice the speed or something because they've added extra frames in there, and it's really jarring to me. It's like I watched the DVD of King Kong and it plays like a normal film, but yeah, I'll watch the Blu-ray and I find it so strange that everything's moving just slightly quicker than what it was doing, and I'm not used to it. I really find
I
it
noticed
jarring.
that. I was watching Fallen Kingdom at my nephew's, and he's got it on DVD, and he was playing it on his PS4. And, like, he put it on because Uncle Jack was round, right? So just for context, he's like, Uncle Jack's here. Put Fallen Kingdom because he likes it as well.
Yeah.
And I was watching it, and I was like, why does everyone sound like the pitch is up? Like, why does everyone, their voices all sound really high pitched, and it seems to be moving a lot quicker. And I don't know what it is, but then you watch the 4K at mine, and it seems slower, and the voices seem deeper, and it's like it seems more cooler in a way.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on there.
No, it's strange though. It really is. But, yeah, mind. It's I'm sure that come next 20 years or something, we'll be watching them all on holograms, and they'll just be moving just as weirdly then as well.
The thing I hope to do, because I know on VR, there's some VR things where you can watch, you enter like a virtual cinema, and like if you've all got your VR headsets hooked up to the same server, you can all watch a film in this virtual cinema with your friends.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Well, that's a thing now. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think it's a thing now. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want that.
That'll be something that I would love to experience with. They redid Jurassic Park, but it's exactly the same film, but you could just do that technology and you could all watch the film from different perspectives and just see things at different levels and angles that either make the film better for you or that it just reveals something a bit more. Like, I know that there was an argument a while ago in the fandom about how the T-Rex was able to get over the cement block. Well, if you could just get on the other side of that cement block and see like the drop off and everything.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, actually,
it would be like, okay, argument ends now because we've got physical proof of it.
Yeah, they'd have to like digitally extend all the backgrounds and God knows what else.
And Phil Sippy like, for fuck's sake, I already did this job once. Not being blamed for that again.
Right, I'm gonna just move this little back toe up, and then I'm gonna probably end the stream because it is late.
Yeah,
and I need to go to sleep.
Yep, same here. I've got the wife that'll be complaining about me snoring if I'm not careful.
Yeah, thanks, Mike, for coming on and telling everyone about your Kickstarter.
Yeah, by all means. Like I say, I'm just happy to talk to people about it and share the project with people.
Are you? Is it on Instagram? Have you got it on Instagram anywhere?
Yes, we've got it on Instagram.
I'll share it on my story.
Twitter, Facebook, and I think doing a trailer for YouTube as well. So, I mean, there is a trailer already out, but we're doing another trailer as well, I think, where I'm going to be actually animating the raptor. So you will be able to see the stop motion clips of the raptor in motion. So, yeah, that should be quite exciting to see how that one plans out.
I like that. Right, anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream there. Thank you, everyone who came along and viewed tonight. There's a lot in the chat I missed, but whatever.
they're all saying they love you, Jack. That's all they're saying.
Yeah. Big Chuck said, "I love your nod to arachnophobia in the opening of episode 1 of Dino-Defenders Extreme." And now you've got me stumped because I don't even know what that is.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, see you later. Bye bye.